Oh, hi, everybody. The election is just being called on April 28th. We have 5 weeks to expose Mark Carney, to vet him, to show Canadians who he really is, a Canadian in name only who hasn't lived here in a decade, a globalist who carries three passports and calls himself European, not Canadian, an insider who rigged the Liberal leadership vote to disqualify his opponents and block 250,000 voters, an oligarch who pledged his loyalty to the World Economic Forum and the United Nations, and finally, a slippery banker who just weeks ago voted to move his own company from Canada to New York. So we've got our work cut out for us as journalists, but I am doing something different this time. I have set up what Elections Canada calls a third party campaign to fight against Mark Carney directly. By registering my third party group with Elections Canada, I can raise and spend up to $600,000 in this election. That's enough to do everything from renting billboard trucks to sending out brochures targeting different politicians to running national TV ads if we want. And the amazing thing about a third party campaign, I've discovered, is that unlike political parties, there is no limit on how much people can donate to it. Canadians can donate a maximum of $1,750 to each registered political party, and the same towards each party's candidates. But those limits do not apply to third party groups. So you can donate any amount. That's on top of whatever you might give to a political party. So there's going to be a lot of ads out there, including from the Conservative Party. And I have no interest in simply repeating their messages. I plan to use my third party group to go further and harder than anything that conservatives would do, including talking about things that conservatives themselves might be squeamish about. For example, Mark Carney's close family ties with Ghislaine Maxwell. That's Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficker. The CBC would never talk about that. And I'm not sure if even the conservatives would either, but we already are. Our billboard truck is literally in Ottawa today with that message. If you're excited about this third party campaign idea, go to a website I've set up at forcanada.ca. That's FOR Canada.ca. Now, I originally didn't plan to do this. The idea came to me from the police who were interrogating me for publishing my book, The Libranos, in the 2019 election. They said all I had to do was register my book with the government and I'd be fine. And I thought that was an outrageous infringement of my freedom of speech. And I fought it in court for 5 years. I mean, that's banana republic stuff. But then it dawned on me registering in the election lets me campaign as if I were a political party, including raising and spending money. And in some ways, that gives me even more power than a political party because there are no limits on individual donors. So I'm doing it. I'm setting up a campaign group. We've got 5 weeks to stop Mark Carney. Rebel News will do important work journalistically, but this third party group I've set up will do other work that Rebel News can't. I have made the first donation. Will you join me? Go to forcanada.ca, FOR Canada. I've set this third party group up in my personal capacity to keep the funds separate from Rebel News. Rebel will do journalism, For Canada will do the political heavy lifting. And the amazing thing is donations to the third party group like For Canada are unlimited. The only limit is on our spending, but that limit is so high, $600,000. It really is amazing. Anyways, go to forcanada.ca and let's go and fight this campaign.